Welcome back to the plot, everyone. It's Monday the 6th of October and it's a very bright and sunny day after a weekend where we've seen Storm Amy lash the British Isles. We were quite lucky down here in Exeter, being so far south. We didn't get much of Storm Amy, but we did get a little bit of this. So yeah, we got a little bit of the storm, but nowhere near as bad as other parts of the country. So I've had a couple of weeks away from the allotment actually. So I'll give you a quick run round and show you what needs done. I'm getting ready to plant out my onions and garlics for this year. But although I've been away from the allotment, I have been busy. I've been helping my in-laws lay a path. The first time I've ever done anything like that. So I think we've done a rather good job. But I'll swing the camera around and I'll show you what I plan to do today, or try and get done today. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye. There's a couple of wasps around and I'm just keeping an eye on them. But let's take a walk around the plot. Okay, this is someone's tarpaulin. It was blown into my plot by the storm at the weekend. So I'll put a posting on the news group and people can come and collect it if they want. Got some side shoots of broccoli to collect, which is fantastic because we eat a lot of broccoli in our house. Yeah, there's some on there as well. And more there. So that's good. Some broccoli to pick. There's some beetroots ready as well. Have a look in there. These are the golden boulder ones. There's a few cherry toms there. I might just get rid of all these plants. There's some lettuces there that aren't looking very good. I've actually brought up my Pak Choi, which has been in the garden for quite a while. And look at that, cheeky snail. So yeah, some of them were, I thought the dog wanted to see, to tell you the truth, but some of them are salvageable. So I'll find a space to plant them out. Parsnips are doing well. The squashes, I'm going to clear that bed out. We do have a volunteer potato in there, which I'm not going to take today, but I will be taking it sometime. I'm going to empty all the other potato pots from up there. They're all going to be empty today, hopefully. I do have to cut the grass. I started cutting it and I got this section done here, but I ran out of batteries for my mower and got this section done. I'm going to take all these peas for seeds. They're all dried off now. Take the canes down, weed these beds. Same with this bed, same thing. Take all the pods for seeds, for beans. And that's still flowering. And we've got a little ladybird there as well. So I'm definitely going to do this because I think I'm going to put my garlic and onions in this bed. So I need to get this cleared. Also, when we were doing the path for my in-laws, we dug up a lot of topsoil to do the foundations of a path, put the footings in. So I'm going to grab some of that topsoil and put it in here. Now this is like virgin topsoil, so it's never grown in, as far as I'm aware, it's never grown any alliums in. So the chances are that it doesn't have allium leaf liner. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm going to top this bed up with some topsoil. What the hell is that? Oh. That is the centre of a golf ball. In fact, there's the other part of it. I would suggest a fox has grabbed that thinking it's an egg or something, and he's had a good chew at it to try and get to it. So much plastic though. So yeah, it's everywhere. I would have liked to see the look on his face when he realised it wasn't an egg. Yeah, so that's going to get cleaned up. As I said, the grass up here is going to get cut and trimmed. My strimmer broke down, so I had to buy a new one. We bought one exactly the same, and hopefully we'll get as many years service out the new one as well. This is the moolie. Look at that. I think that one's ready. That one's ready. Oh yeah, I think the moolie's ready. So I'll be taking some of that out. Got a few carrots in here as well. Let's just have a look. Yeah, we've definitely got carrots there. Okay, so I'll be taking up moolie. It's not for me, I don't like this, I don't like radish. But Delilah can have one. My in-laws, they can have one, because Pip's dad was saying he'd never heard of moolie, but he likes radish. So I'll surprise him, and I'll give some to my mum and anyone else that wants one. But yeah, that's the moolie. This needs weeded and cleaned out. I'm not even going to go in there today. This needs cleaned. Not going to touch this today either. So my main priority today is finish cutting the grass and clear that bed out so I can put some topsoil on it. One of the stromboli broccolis that I put in has been heavily slugged, so I shall put some pellets down for that, and I'll make some of my slug juice and put that down, see if that can keep the slugs back. Carrots look as if they're doing well in here, and the weeds, the size of that weed. Yeah, so not as many carrots as I thought, it was all weed. And I'll take these little peppers. They're the only peppers I've got this year. But it's yeah, too cold for them. I've got a pepper plant at home, I might overwinter that. Don't know. Anyway, lots of jobs to do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on, start with cutting the grass, maybe have a coffee, then I'll get on with fixing out the bean beds. Well, I'm going to start off by just taking off any pods with any beans in, and these will be going in my shed where I'll leave them to dry out for a few days, possibly a week or so, 10 days. Then they'll be safe for later in the year, and I'll either use them for soups and stews or save enough for seeds for next year. These ones were the purple climbing French beans that I grow every year, the Blauhild. So yeah, really nice bean. And the beans do keep, once they're dried out, you know, they'll keep for months and months and months. So I mean, I'm still using some from last year. But I'll take the canes out and disassemble the wigwams. I think the wigwams are a lot easier to put up and take down than some of the other structures I've seen for climbing beans. But I'm just putting all the beanstalks into the compost bin, and I'll gather up all the canes. Now the canes I'll keep, and hopefully I'll be able to use them next year as well. So that's one down. I'll just carry on with the rest and disassemble them, and I'll just stack all the canes in the middle of this covered bed at the moment, and when I'm finished I'll tie them up and see if I can stack them away somewhere for over the winter where they keep out of a lot of the rain and they don't rot, and I can use them next year. Well, that's me finished for today. It's 1 o'clock. I'm going to go home and get something to eat. I've got other things to do this afternoon, but let me give you a quick look around and show you what I've achieved today. Right, I've managed to do most of the grass. I've run out of power again. It's very difficult to cut the grass when it's quite high and damp. It just all clumps and sticks to the blade. But yeah, I've just got this area up here to do tomorrow. I'll be coming back up tomorrow. This is the bean bed. All the canes have been taken down. They're there at the moment. I'll tidy them up later. and I've weeded this bed. As I says, I'm not ready to put the garlic and the onions in yet. I might actually start them from home in cell trays. And here I've put some of those Pak Chois. I hope to survive. I'll put down some slug pellets, that's what I'll do. I'll put down some slug pellets for these and the broccoli up there before I leave, which I'm going to be doing very soon now. Other things, yeah, it needs a bit of work this week. Pick some more broccoli, there's enough there for 2 small portions. And I picked all the purple beans, all that's left. These will probably be used for seed next year, although I might just, it depends how many I've got. I've got some more at home as well, but yeah, you can eat these. I put them in soups and stews, and I dry them out and they'll last all year, and I just rehydrate them, put them in soups and stews. They work fabulous, plus I keep enough that I'm going to plant for next year. So broccoli and beans, that's them done. That's another bed tidied up. I'll come back up tomorrow, I'll finish cutting the grass, I'll take down the other bean frames, sort that out. And since it's Tuesday tomorrow, we can have a fire. So I've got loads of stuff that's still got to put on fire from Delilah's plot. So yeah, that's it for me for today. I'm going to go head home now and get something to eat. But I'll be back again tomorrow, so I'll see you all back then. Welcome back, everyone. It's the 9th of October. So it's Thursday the 9th of October. So I've started off this week by cleaning out a few beds on the allotment and cutting the grass. I've cleaned a few beds out for my garlic and onions, and also for my broad beans. So I'm not ready to plant out yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the garlic and onions in cell trays and the broad beans, and I'll leave them in this shed until they're ready to go out. So let me just show you what I'm going to be planting now for next year. So this is what I'm going to be using this year. I've got some onion sets. These are Shakespeare variety and they're from Premier Seeds Direct. I've got my own saved garlic from last year. I've got some of the cracking big, huge big elephant garlic bulbs, not bulbs, these are cloves of elephant garlic that I'm going to use. So yeah, that's one clove, and you get maybe about 8 of them to a bulb. So I'm going to plant 8 of them so I can get another 8 bulbs, and I've saved some of the big ones for that. I've also got a bulb of Iberian garlic that I got from the Isle of Wight garlic shop a couple of years back. Again, this is saved seeds, and this is Germador, which I bought about 5 years ago originally, and this is saved seeds from continuous growing over the past 5 years. So it's worthwhile to save a few bulbs just to replant and keep the cycle going. So I've just got this cell tray, and it's just general purpose compost. I think some of it might be my own compost, and it's just been watered. And for the garlics, I'm just going to sink them in. So the garlic, the blunt end at the bottom is a basal plate. This is where all the roots come out of. The pointy end at the top is where the leaves are going to come out of, the green leaves. So plant them with a blunt end down and pointy end up. So these are just going to go in here like that, and they just about fit, to tell you the truth. So I think about another 8 of these will be okay, because I've still got quite a few from last year. I'm actually going to use smaller ones because they fit better. Okay, so that's the elephant garlic. I won't bother putting a label in them, because it's quite, at the moment anyway, because it's quite evident what they are. And this is the Iberian garlic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the biggest cloves from these. And this is quite a nice garlic actually. It grew well and it tastes well, works well in dinners. Right, I've got 10 cloves here. Same as before. You've got the basil plate that goes into the ground, and you've got the area where the leaves come out from the top. So these are just going to go in the same as the other garlics. Couldn't be easier really. Normally I'd plant these direct, but I want to get them. I've not got the bed fully ready yet, as I want to get some topsoil from my in-laws, and they're away this week, and we're going to be away next week. So I just wanted to get them started rather than have a 2 weeks wait. So I've got 10 bulbs, 10 cloves of that, which hopefully I'll get 10 bulbs from. And the Gemmador, which have been growing forever, but it seems. Let's just see if I can get some nice bulbs, because it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, I'll put these ones in. A little bit smaller than the Iberian garlic, but same as any other garlic really. Just pop them in with the blunt end down. This shed is full of the smell of garlic now. Quite hungry now, and I've got to go out after I do this. I'm going to the cinema this afternoon, so I've got to do this and then walk into the town. But that's my garlics already started for next year. Just let me get rid of this waste. So I'm not going to water that, because I watered it before I started, so that can go to one side at the moment. It doesn't need any sunlight. What I'll do is I shall just put one of these cloth covers over it to help retain moisture. So these are the onion sets that I'm going to do, and I've pulled a few out that were obviously bad, but I need 24. 3, 4. So these are the same as the garlic. You've got the basil plate at the bottom. You've got the pointy end at the top where the shoots, the leaves come out. And again, it's just a question of settling them into some damp, moist compost or the ground. If you were planting these in the ground, I would plant them twice the depth of the bulb. So if the bulb's that size, I'd plant that deep. And that'll stop the birds pulling them out, because if the birds see that sticking above the ground, that little bit sticking above the ground, they'll pull it out thinking it's something interesting to eat. So, but by the time I'm ready to put these in the ground, in fact I might even keep them till the spring or early next year before I put them out. They should have good root system and probably should have started some leaves. And what I'm doing is I'm just picking out some of the bigger ones that I want. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get bigger onions, but you never know. Now, I've used onion sets in the past and I've had mixed results. And I've used seeds in the past and I've got mixed results. And last year, all my onions got hit by, they were done by seeds, were hit by allium leaf miner. So I'm hoping by getting some virgin topsoil from my in-laws, they've got a new built house and we dug some soil out to put a path in. So by getting some virgin topsoil, we're going to lessen the chance of allium leaf miners. Plus I'm also going to put these under a EnviroMesh netting, which should stop any flies, the allium leaf miner fly getting in to lay its eggs. Okay, that's the onions. I've got quite a lot left. I don't know. I'll see if Delilah wants to do some onions. If she does, she can have a pick of them. If she doesn't, I'll find another cell tray and I'll do another set of another set. So I'll be seeing Delilah at the weekend, so I can ask her then. So the last thing I'm going to do is my broad beans, and I always do my beans in these root trainers. In case you haven't seen these before, the channels in these force the roots to grow down, to come out the bottom, and they just break apart. They've got a seam down the middle, and they just break apart for taking the sort of like plug plant out and planting. So I've filled these most of the way to the top, and these are saved seeds from last year. Where are you? Yep. These are saved seeds from last year. These are an Italian variety called Gran Violetto. And I'm just going to put one seed in each cell and see how we get on. Then I shall top these up. Let me just see if there's any bigger ones here. So top these cells up to the top and water. Oh. Oh crikey, that time already? Sorry, I'd set an alarm for me to get ready to go out. So doing this rather quickly now. Let's see, we've got the bigger ones. didn't realise the time had gone so fast. It does take time when you're setting up cameras and stuff like that to do these things. So yeah, it does eat into your time a little bit. So sometimes like what you think is a 5-minute job can take about half an hour to do. So I'm not going to be keeping all of these, but as again, any spares I'll offer to Delilah. If she doesn't want them, I'll offer them to anyone else on the allotment plot. That way, just help each other out a little bit. I'm still undecided of where I'm going to put the broad beans this year. So depending on which bed I put them in is also going to determine how many I am going to use. And I'm just going to top these cells up with a bit more compost. Just firm it down a little bit. Doesn't need to be too firm. This compost bag has been outside, so the compost in it is quite damp, so it won't need too much water. You can of course start your broad beans outside in the ground from about this time on. The ground's still relatively warm, still retains a bit of heat. I just prefer to use the root trainers because it eliminates the possibility of mice coming along and stealing your beans. So you put your beans in the ground and you wait and you wait and you wait, and it's not until maybe mid-November you think, why have I got no beans? Then you look and there's no beans in the ground because the mice have stolen them. So by the time these are ready to go out, they should be established plants. And what I'll do is I'll put them out and give them some protection from the wind with some put some fleece around the bed that the plants are in, and that'll give them some protection from the wind. Right, that's that. So, broad beans, onions and garlics. There you go, folks. So that's me for today. My alarm's gone off. I've got to go. Got to get into town. So thanks for watching. I'll be back at the weekend. So this is Thursday. Doing something else tomorrow. I'll be at the allotment at the weekend with Delilah. So I'll see you all then. Bye for now. Welcome back, everyone. It's Saturday the 11th of October and it's a really nice day this afternoon. I've got a few jobs I'm going to do. We're going to pick a few sweet corn. We're going to pick all the potatoes, empty all the potatoes out of the pots, and we're going to grab ourselves a moolie and see what that's like. So first job first is we're going to have a look and see if we've got any sweet corn that's ready to go. So let's swing round and we'll go into the sweet corn cage and we'll pick the sweet corn. Okay, I can see a couple that's ready. So got one there. Oh, this one feels a bit small. We've got one there. And one there. There's one there and there's one there, but they're too small, there's nothing in them. So let's have a quick look at these. Be nice if we get something from these. Well, that's half a sweet corn. Okay, got germination on half of it. Let's try another one. These are only small sweet corn. Anyway, so there's another half of one there, so that's one sweet corn from two. Let's try this last one. I think that one down there is just too small. And we've got another half of one, as you can see. Yeah, it's not a great success, but there is a little bit there. I'll put these up here for now. So that's it with the sweet corn. Right, I'm going to go and do the potatoes now, so I'll just put the camera on a tripod and you can watch and see what we get. Well, the potatoes I'm going to collect today is my main crop potatoes, and these are Cara and King Edward. Now, I hadn't planned to leave them in the pot this long, but with one thing and another, I'm just getting around to doing this now. So they've been in the pots for quite a while now, and I'm finding quite a few potatoes have gone rotten. The rotten ones I've just thrown straight in the compost bin, which is behind the camera. I'm also noticing that there's quite a bit of bindweed happily growing in the potato pots, as well as the occasional piece of blackberry or bramble. I think I'm going to have to rethink the way I grow potatoes next year, because I'm not getting such a good crop from these. So next year I might think about growing them in the ground again. Now I know this takes a lot more work, putting them in and taking them back out, but these pots do dry out very quickly in the hot summer weather, and it does take quite a lot of time to keep them watered. But if I put them in the ground, they'll have a better chance at having a more water as well as more nutrients growing in the ground. So I'm not sure. I'm seriously thinking about not doing these in pots next year, or my main crops not in pots, but growing my main crops in the ground. Well, there's the final result there. Not a great harvest, but I'll do this for a while. There was a lot of, especially in the buckets of Cara, there was a lot of potatoes that had just rotted. So I don't know whether I left them in too long, or it certainly wasn't because it was too wet. Right everyone, all this is moolie, and what moolie is a long white Asian radish. So if you like radishes, you can plant the little ones where you get the little red balls, but if you really want radishes, plant yourself some moolie and get radishes like that. That's what you call a radish. Okay, well, I think that's a successful moolie, radish, whatever you want to call it. I think they call it daikon as well. Got that. We've harvested all the potatoes out of the pots. That's what we got. So there's a few there. Not a great success. A lot of them did rot off in the pots for some reason. But that's all the pots gone from over there. We've done the sweet corn. Not a great success there either. I put some Pak Choi in during the week, so let's go and have a look, see whether it's still there. Well, considering there's no netting on that or anything, I'm surprised they're still there. The pigeons haven't had them. And the slugs haven't taken them, but I'm not going to take anything to chance. I'm going to put down some slug pellets before we go. But that's it for this week. I've had quite a busy week. Cutting all the grass is a job in itself on this plot, but I'm going to be away for a bit next week, so there probably won't be any videos, but I'll hopefully get something for you the week after. So stay tuned, and I will be back after a little break. Thanks for watching.